Hi, today is another feel good slow flow. We're going to be working with some of the feel good chemicals in the body, and we're going to work to stimulate them from our own doing rather than from external forces. So, we're going to start laying down. We're actually going to start laying face down today. So, we're going to come onto the mat and welcome relaxed crocodile into our body. This is one of my favorite restful poses. We're going to stack our hands and then rest our forehead here on the back of our hands. We're going to turn the toes out, open up the legs a little bit, and find an exhale breath. Get heavy here. So let the area around your collarbone and your shoulders relax as your chest really sinks down into the mat. Your head sinks into the back of your hands. Your pelvis sinks deeply into the mat, as do your legs and your feet. We're going to start to breathe bigger while we're here. So the next breath in, notice how the belly expands and presses against the mat. With the exhale, just kind of melt into your mat, sink back in. And let's breathe that way a few times, really expanding deep into the body so the belly presses into the mat while the lower back broadens. So we're welcoming deep diaphragmatic breathing right away. And we're stimulating the belly here. So dopamine, 50% of it is produced in the gut. And serotonin, 90%. 90% is produced in the belly. And those are our feel-good chemicals. So right now, we're just trying to stimulate them a bit. Stimulate the belly. Find some gentle pressure, gentle belly press. We can also think about the vagus nerve that we worked with a few days ago. So right now, we've got that gentle forehead pressure, the pressure between the third eye. We're breathing deeply, diaphragmatically. And we can think about how that vagus nerve runs from the brain to the large intestine. And that too is just a pathway for these feel-good chemicals to move through the body. So try to make these first few moments feel good and just bring awareness to the inside of your body. Imagine all the miraculous workings that are going on inside of you, from the brain deep into the belly, around all of those organs, all the pathways of communications throughout the body, the nerves, the channels, the connective tissue. Feel it all here. Good. It might feel good here to pick up your feet. Roll the ankles a few times. Feel the arches. Feel the ankles. Feel the space between the toes. And then it might feel good to windshield wiper here in this position. Find a little extra sensation across the low belly, across the front of the pelvis. Find a little massage there, some gentle pressure. Good. We'll come back to the center. Let's walk the feet in a little closer, so the knees in a little closer, and you can keep your feet in. We're going to try bow pose right away today, but if bow pose is not appropriate for your body, you could do locust instead. So you're either going to reach back for your ankles. If that's not right today, stretch your legs and keep your arms by your sides. We're going to be lifting up in either place, so either in locust or in bow. So active feet here. We're going to start to lift. We're going to draw the thighs towards the floor, keep the belly close to the mat, but let the heart lift while we tuck the chin and keep the head right in line with the spine. Let's just take a few more deep breaths here. Again, recognizing that gentle pressure against the belly as you breathe in bigger. My belly's making some noises. Sending me a little message saying, thank you. I needed this love today. Let's release that. Let's push up now. And we're going to come all the way back to a child's pose. So let's walk the knees together and forward. And then sit your hips back, maybe kind of even sway a few times there, hips against the heels. We're going to drop the head down, and if it feels okay, nestle your arms back along by your sides, and your feet and your hands come close together. So get into kind of a nice tight little secure spot here. And let's just take a few more rounds of mindful breaths where we really expand through the belly and we also expand across the back. Three-dimensional breathing here. Good. As we come up here, we're going to lift up and let's turn to the side. Let's come into a mermaid stretch. So we'll bring the feet in close and we're going to hold on close to the ankle. We'll lift up here and then let's just lean over towards the foot side. Maybe you take your hand down and press there to really open up some extra space through the side body. Let's take this top arm, keep reaching with an inhale. And then with the exhale, can you reach it all the way over? Maybe even all the way down to the ground. Push into the hands a little bit, drop the head. Good, then we'll lift it back up. And then we're just going to turn here back to a tabletop position. And we will take the knees out just a little bit wider. And sometimes we do circles here on the table. We're going to isolate the circles into the pelvis today. So can you start to circle just your pelvis around? And imagine the pelvis like a bowl that's just kind of holding those internal organs of the low belly and of the low torso in that bowl. So we're just kind of stirring some things up here a little bit, getting some things moving, increasing our circulation and getting a little internal massage from the way that we're moving our body. We can go ahead and pause, reverse, go around the other way a few times. You can notice how you're breathing while you're exploring the pelvis, the low belly, the low back. And hopefully it's feeling good. Good. Now we're going to take the knees closer together. We're going to drop the hips back down so we come back into that mermaid shape again, just like we had before. Let's come up and over just for one little stretch there. And then we're going to kick that mermaid tail. Oh, that one wasn't so graceful. That's okay though. Let's go ahead and come up to our mermaid stretch on that side. Relax up top, really open up that side body space. We'll inhale as we exhale. Let's bring the hand down. See how that feels. See how it changes the stretch a little bit. You can press into both hands. Good, and then we'll lift back up and around again, and then we'll just turn the tabletop the other way. So this time we'll get a little bit more of the body involved, more of the spine involved. So let's drop into a cow shape here, stretching your belly now underneath. Really feel the stretch. You're pulling the breastbone away from the pubic bone, the rib cage away from the pelvis, and then the crown of the head away from the tail. And then let's take the cat shape. So now you're bringing all of those places a little closer together. Let's take some big circles, spinal circles now. So you're going to shift over to the side, drop down through the center, shift to the other side, lift up. We'll just do two more in that direction. Good. When you get to the top of that next circle, you can pause, take it back around the other way a few times. Good. One more here. Finish with that cat shape, giving the belly a good squeeze now. So let's just take a couple of the cat and cow. Feel the belly squeeze, and then feel the belly stretch in cow. Let's do that 2 more times. Squeeze the belly, squeeze those internal organs, and then lengthen out and provide some space here. Let's go 1 more time. We'll take another child's pose. This time we're going to make space for the belly. So we're going to open up the knees, bring the big toes together, come down and kind of nestle your ribs and your belly here right between the thighs. Try to get as close to the ground as you can here. And find a deep exhale breath. Relax. Feel the expansion between the legs as you breathe in. Let's spider walk the fingers first, lift the forearms and the elbows, a little bit more activity here in the child's pose, an extended child's pose. And then we'll lift and draw the knees in line, tuck the toes under, lift the hips. Here's our downward facing dog. We'll take whatever movement feels good first, and then I'm going to guide us through some down dog movement today. So we're going to work with the pelvis again. Let's walk. We could talk too. Walk the feet out wider. Bend the knees a little bit more. We're going to figure eight the pelvis now. So you'll bend your left knee, dip the hip down, circle it up and around to the center, and then bend the right knee, dip it down and around, circle it up to the center. So you're figure eighting your pelvis here. Getting some nice knee and calf muscle stimulation while you're at it, a little bit of hip activity here. Lots of strength through your shoulders. Go ahead and reverse the direction of that figure eight. Takes a little bit of mental effort. Good, and then we'll just walk the feet together first and then forward, and we'll go ahead and come up to a forward fold. You can just drape here, take a few breaths. Let's climb up the legs. We're coming to standing mountain pose. How does it feel today? Let's stretch the full body, stretch the belly here as you reach up high. And then maybe it feels okay to even arch back today, a standing back bend. And then as we exhale, let's come back upright and we'll take a swan dive down here towards the feet. So thinking about stretching the lower back. Let's flow that a few times. We'll reverse the swan dive. We'll come up to extended mountain with a hint of a back bend as it feels good for your body today. And then we'll exhale, we'll dive into the depths of the forward fold, giving some love to the low back. Let's come up again here, one more time like that. And then we'll exhale, dive in. Nice, let's climb to the shins, come halfway up. We are stretching along the spine, creating space. We're engaging the belly here to find support for the strong back. Let's go ahead and take a chair pose. So we'll bend the knees. That belly is still connected, providing good support as we sink into a challenging pose. Good. Now we're going to sweep up and lift. We're going to take a standing twist. So just spread the arms wide here. Good. Let's go ahead and lift up to the center. We'll spread wide as we turn the other way. Good. Back to the center. Let's just get each side one more time. We're going to hold this one though. So the back arm is really reaching way back there. If you can you wrap that back hand around towards the opposite hip? The front hand is then going to hug to the front hip. So let me just turn so you can see what's happening here. So you're holding onto both hips, and that will remind us to keep those hips square to the front, but the shoulders are rotating a whole lot. And because of that, we've got this deep twist through the center. Can you stand a little taller, feel a little firmer through your legs? Take a breath in. And then we'll just exhale, release that. Let's take a seat, chair pose. We'll sweep up. We're going to twist the other way now. So spread the arms wide first. That back arm, we're going to wrap it around. The front hand, we're going to wrap and hug around the front. And then we're going to turn those hips to the front as much as we can while the shoulders rotate. We're lifting through the top of the head. We'll take a big breath in. And then as we release it, let's take a seat. Good. We're going to bring the feet a little closer together here. Connect the palms up top. We're going to come into chair pose again, but we're going to flow a twisting chair today. So you could spread the arms wide to start. Stay up a little higher here at the start. We'll inhale, lift. Let's exhale, spread the arms wide as we sit. So you can stick with that variation. If you want a little more depth today, prayer hands come down, elbow goes to the opposite knee. We'll sweep it back up. And then we'll sink it in, twist deeply into your seat. Let's go 4 more times here. Inhale. Exhale, flowing slowly, emptying out the breath. Just 2 more. Good, last one here. Let's hold this one up. We're going to come into steeple mudra. I'm not sure if I'm out of the screen, so let me show you here. Wrap the fingers except for the pointer. The pointer fingers to, reach up, steeple, and then we're going to lean. Good, back to the center. And lean. Nice. Back to the center. We're actually going to go ahead and come back down to the mat. So we'll take prayer hands down the midline now, dive back into a forward fold. And then let's step back into our downward facing dog. Just take some time here in this pose. And let's come forward to a plank. You could be on your toes or down on your knees. Feel the support that comes from the belly here. Almost like you've got a little corset there around the pelvis, and you're just going to give it a little tug, tighten it up just a bit. Good. Now let's drop to the knees. Let's come all the way down to the ground. Feel your belly against the mat as you lift the heart here in Baby Cobra. Let's take a few breaths in Baby Cobra. Good. One more. With the exhale, let's pull back. Let's go to child's pose. Slide way back here. You can stay in child's, or you can come back to the downward facing dog again. We're going to come forward to the plank pose again, and we're not rushing today, so let's take a few breaths here, knees or toes. Feel the support, the sturdiness, the engagement around the belly. And then let's lower all the way down again. We're going to take another few breaths in our back bend, and you can stick with that Baby Cobra, or you could try it in up dog this time if you wanted to. We're going to go 3 rounds. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Another inhale. With the exhale, we'll pull back, down dog or child's. Good. Now let's come all the way down. We're going to swing the legs around. We're going to finish up on our back this time. So we started on our belly. We're going to finish on our back. As we come onto the back, let's place one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Just feel the breath underneath of you. Feel the life underneath of you. Feel the beating of the heart. Feel the feel-good chemicals now just cruising throughout your body, nourishing you, helping you feel a little better than when you started today. Let's take this feeling with us when we move off of the mat. Stay here, though, for a few more moments, a few more minutes if you can. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.